In the previous video, you learned how to compute present value and future value and other time value of money problems by hand. Now let's use the calculator. If you have your Hewlett-Packard in front of you, it should look very similar to this. The first thing that you want to do is hit Shift, clear all, and hold it. And you'll notice that the default setting is monthly, 12 payments per year. We want to set that to a yearly payment so that you can compute the problems in the book. So select 1, Shift, Payment per Year. And now that you'll notice if you hit Shift, Clear All, and hold it, it will be set appropriately. The second thing you should do is if you'd like to change the decimal, you would hit Shift, Disp, 4. And that will compute all answers to 4 decimals. Since we're solving for money, we'll hit that and move it back to 2 decimals. Shift, Disp, 2. Now in this problem, our answer was $16,105.10. So if you deposit $10,000 in a bank account that's growing at 10% per year, what would be the future value of your account? So now let's solve this using the calculator. We would plug in 5N, 5 is the number of years, 10 interest rate. There's no payment to be made for each year, so 0 payment. Our present value is 10,000, and I'm going to make that a negative simply because the present value reflects the fact that we are putting money into a bank that's not to be touched, and then at the end of 5 years we will be withdrawing from that account. So here is our plus minus sign present value. And if we hit the future value, our answer is $16,105.10. Now I'm going to hit Shift, Clear All, and then let's start problem 2. So what is the present value of a security that will pay $5,000 in 20 years if you are earning 7% interest? We solved this on our previous video, so let's solve this using the financial calculator. First, hit Shift, Clear All, and hold it to be sure that 1 payment per year is present in the calculation. It's 20N. 20 is the number of years. Our interest rate is 7%. There's no payment to be made during the 20-year period at all. 0 payment. We're expecting it to grow to $5,000 in the future. And if we hit present value, our answer is $1,292.10. It's negative because it reflects the fact that we're putting money into an account and we're letting it ride for 20 years and not touching that money. And we'll be gaining a positive $5,000 in 20 years. So hit Shift, Clear All to clear the calculator. Let's look at our third problem. Your parents will retire in 18 years. They have $250,000 in an account, and they think they will need $1 million at retirement. Find the annual interest rate they must earn to reach their goal. Here is the answer from our previous video. Let's solve using the calculator. Shift, Clear All just to be sure. 18 years. We're solving for interest rate. 250 is a present value, and that's what we'll be placing in an account. So I want to put that in as a negative. There are no additional payments during the 18-year period. We're anticipating it grows to $1 million. And if I hit interest rate, our answer is 8.01%. Now notice if I didn't plug in present value as a negative, I put 18N, 250, present value, 0 payment, and $1 million future value, and hit interest rate, there's no solution. So please remember when you're using the calculator to plug in the present value as a negative where appropriate. Time for a lump sum to double. If you deposit money today in an account that pays 6.5% interest, how long will it take to double your money? Well, from the previous video, it took 11 years. So in this case, we're solving for n, hit Shift, Clear All, Our interest rate is 6.5%. And it doesn't matter what you put in as a present value. You could put in $1. And then the future value would be 2. That would be doubling. And if we solve for n, it's about 11.01 years. Clear all. Next problem. How does it take you to reach a financial goal? Well, in this problem, you have $42,180.53 in a brokerage account today. You plan to deposit $5,000 at the end of every future year until your account totals $250. You expect to earn 12% annually on the account. How many years will it take you to reach that goal? Here is our solution from the previous video. Now let's solve using the calculator. Shift clear all just to check. Our interest rate is 12. Our present value is $42,180.53, and that's negative. That's money you're putting away in an account. $5,000 is your payment, and you can see from the problem that it is also negative. You're putting money into that account for an investment purpose. And you hope at the end to have $250,000. And that's positive. So N is 11 years. Ordinary annuity. What's the future value of a 7% 5-year ordinary annuity that pays $300 each year? And what if it was an annuity due? Well, let's look at the ordinary annuity. In this case, it's a 5-year annuity. Our interest rate is 7%. We're trying to solve for the future value. The present value is 0. Our payments are $300. And if we're solving for future value, notice it'll be negative. Now that isn't shown on your directional sheets. So you need to make the $300, if you're depositing money into the account, a negative. So your future value would be $17.25.22. So a negative $300 reflects the fact that you're putting money into the account, and then at the end of 5 years you're going to withdraw $17.25.22. Now if it's an annuity due, notice we need to put this into begin mode. So on your calculator, if you look very closely, you should have a key that says begin and end. And that's important for you so that you can toggle through. Hit Shift Clear All and Shift Begin. Now you see we're in begin mode, so this just moved the time period back. So we're going to plug it in as before, 5N, and our interest rate was 7%. Our present value is 0 because the $300 are rolled up into the payments. And our future value is now $18.45.99. Now remember to hit Clear All and to hit Shift Begin again to get rid of that Begin key. Let's look at the present value and future values of a cash flow stream. This is an uneven cash flow, and let's find the present value and the future value. To find the present value, we're going to use the net present value key. And I'm going to plug this into the calculator. My first cash flow is 0, and that's the cash flow key. Then 100, then 100, then 100, then 200, now let me just clear that. 0 cash flow, 100 cash flow, 100 cash flow, 100 cash flow, 200 cash flow, 300 cash flow, 500 cash flow. Now our interest rate in this problem is 8%. And I'm going to hit Shift NPV. So our answer is $923.98. And that becomes our present value. So to solve for the future value, I would plug in 6N, 8 interest, 923.98, change the sign, present value, 0 payment, and then solve for the future value. And that is $1466.24. So again, that's 6N, 8 interest, 923.98 negative present value, 0 payment, future value. Okay, and you'll notice there's a slight rounding error, and that's okay. In Excel, you can generate a very exact decimal answer. Loan amortizations are easier to do in Excel. However, if you wanted to find the effective annual rate, you could do that nominal interest for the car payment. So for example, in this case, it's 12% paid monthly. So to find the effective rate, hit Shift Clear All, 12, Shift Nominal, and you're earning interest monthly, so there's 12 months in a year, and then hit Shift Effective. So 12% for the stated purpose of compounding monthly is the same as 1% a month, which is 12.68% a year. Now when you hit Shift Clear All, you will notice that it's now set at 12 payments per year, so just shift it back. This concludes our tutorial for the financial calculator. We will be recording videos showing you various functions. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask.